Welcome back. The third annual Edith Sanford Classic was held at Sanford Pentagon on Saturday. An 8-game slate featuring 11 South Dakota teams, 3 Minnesota teams, and an Iowa and Nebraska team laced them up for some early season girls basketball. For more on the action, here's Jason Andera.
Thank you, Kelly. Well, teams are really getting into the swing of things with some tough matchups to start the season. Let's start with Class A's Dakota Valley taking on Class B's second-ranked Warner. It's going to be a tight game throughout, but Dakota Valley's 6 3-pointers in the end ended up notching them a 59-54 win. For Warner, you had Lori Rogers, Ashley Fishbach, and Peyton Ellingson all in double digits, but they fell just short. We caught up with the Monarchs right after this game.
I'd say we put more pressure on them, and we played better defense, and we minimized the turnovers, which helped us out a lot.
Right. It's definitely a tough loss, but we learned from it, and we're going to build to make our team better and just keep working inside and, again, building each other up.
You know, we did miss some bunnies today, you know, both in the first half and the second half. And so, you know, we'll get better at that as the year goes on, and we'll finish those later on, and you know, we'll just keep trying to get better as far as that goes.
Later in the evening, the Roosevelt Rough Riders, they led early against Western Christian by as many as 7 going down the stretch, but Ashton Verbeek, one of the best athletes in Iowa, takes it to the rim. She scored 26 points, and Western Christian won at 55-54. In just those last few seconds, this shot was rebounded and put back by Jessie DeJager to give them that 1-point win. They got the victory. Let's go to Lincoln, who faced off with Crofton. The Patriots slowly built up a lead throughout the game. They ended up getting the big 55-42 victory. It was Morgan Hansen who led Lincoln with 15 points and 8 rebounds. Here's a look at where the Arns girls come from Crofton in that dynasty. Let's take a look at St. Thomas More. They had a big rematch with Lennox from last season's title game. You had the Cavs and the Orioles coming in at number 1 and number 2 in Class A this year. But Moore once again gets the best of them. Look at the freshman right there, Ashley Timmer. She gets a big hoop, and then of course a steal on the other side from the sophomore from Lennox, puts it, makes it close, but at the end there was just too much St. Thomas More. Ashlyn Duffy on the low post makes it 57-32, a convincing win for St. Thomas More, and they now stand at 4-0 early in the season. Let's take a look at the rest of the games from that slate early on. Ethan had no problem with Viborg Hurley, 64-26. Vermillion stays undefeated on the season, 43-26. And O'Gorman lost by just a single point to Minnesota. Moore had a good game by Sam Hybe, getting 17 points for the winning team in that one. And then St. Michael Albertsville, also ranked in Minnesota, won their second game of the weekend in South Dakota. They beat Washington 58-41. Let's take a look at the new rankings that just came out today in Double-A. Aberdeen Central stays at number 1, but Harrisburg gaining a few more votes, catching up to them, both of them undefeated. And then Stevens and Brandon Valley also undefeated early in this season, and Lincoln with just the one loss to St. Michael Albertsville in at number 5. Let's look at Class A. No doubt on anybody's radar, St. Thomas More is the best team in the state, and they proved it once again. A huge win over previous number 2 Lennox, and that'll be Vermillion taking over that spot at number 2. Lennox moving down to number 3. Del Rapids staying undefeated, getting a win over Sioux Falls Christian, moving up to 4. And McCook Central Montrose in at that 5 spot. And now in Class B in South Dakota girls basketball, you've got Sully Butte staying in at number 1. Warner had gotten more votes previously, got the loss against the Class A team. Nothing too bad about that loss. They stay at number 2. And then DeSmet, Avon, and Castlewood all in that top 5. So that's a look at some of the rankings that will come out. There will be more rankings on our website, midcosn.com. Go to the blog, check out all the rankings in South Dakota high school hoops. Well, this is a busy week here. A lot of people are really looking forward to Christmas. There are other people who are really looking forward to Wednesday. That's National Signing Day, the first time that we've had a National Signing Day for football in December. So Division I schools can actually ink their verbals before the new year. We've got a couple of players that are going to go FBS right here from Sioux Falls. 1, Brock Walker, and 2, Will Farniak, and we talked to them earlier in the season.
And I took that advice, got some looks, And then they also said to go to college camps, and you just go and compete and try your best. And then after that, if you get talked to or you talk to a coach, then you can just take it from there. Throughout football, I've always just tried to do what the coaches have wanted or what they need on the team, and I'm happy to do whatever I can to the best of my abilities.
After they recruited Matt and they kind of were talking to me, and then they never really said much to me, and then I went to their camp, and then they kind of talked to me more. And then as I got older, they talked to me more, and then that sophomore year at camp, then sophomore year, they wanted to see me in season, how I played in the varsity game, and they said they really liked it after a few games. They watched them, and then they extended the offer, which was awesome.
So a couple of big-time recruits right here from Sioux Falls, Washington, headed to play FBS. You saw Brock Walker, who originally had committed to play with SDSU and then got an offer from the University of Minnesota and is decided to play for the Gophers next year. And then Will Farniak, you saw his older brother, Matt, already at Nebraska. He's going to be heading there next year with a new coach. And we'll talk to both of those two guys and bring you what they say on Wednesday on our signing day special, which will recap all of our FCS teams from around the area, as well as these two guys who are heading to FBS football. One more game we've got to show you. Del Rapids played T-Area. Del Rapids looking to be ranked. T-Area ranked number 1 in boys Class A. Well, it came down to not only overtime, but double overtime, and this is how we got to overtime. Let's take a look at the shot for, let's see, this is for Del Rapids, closing seconds of overtime, down by 3, inbound by Elijah Story to Logan Hine, a double pass, and then the tip in by Jeffrey Shook to send it to double overtime. Huge, huge basket at the end of the game. Take another look at it. If you didn't see it, there were 2 passes right here. The pass in the inbounds, the little touch pass, and Jeff Shook taking it right to the rim before the backboard lights up. We've got some exciting stuff happening in high school basketball, and we're only a couple weeks into the season, Kelly. I think we're going to have a lot more excitement just like that. We'll be covering a lot of high school basketball when we come back next year on the show.
All right, great stuff, Jandy. We're definitely looking forward to that. Well, next on the show, we'll send it up to Grand Forks, where Alex Heinert and the Grand Forks Herald's Brad Schlossman recap North Dakota hockey's 2017-18 season thus far as they head into the holiday break. Stay right here.